from Lagos, the nation's commercial capital. This is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reported tonight.
Hello and welcome. I am Olumide Macaulay. Tonight, Army Chief challenges officers to brace up for total onslaught against insurgents in the northeast. Air Force boss says air bombardment will stop the militants' incursions. Customs confiscates poultry products worth 54 million naira in Lagos. Legal experts fault operation of criminal justice, say the system favors only the rich. And North Korea opts to join the US in the Sony hack probe to prove its innocence in the cyber attack.
On business news tonight, the IMF predicts a slow growth rate for Nigeria in 2015.
And in sports news, winner of the 2015 Women's World Cup to get $2 million as FIFA doubles prize money for the tournament.
We begin tonight in Kaduna, northeast Nigeria, where the Chief of Army Staff has challenged officers of Junior Corps 78 at the Armed Forces Command and Staff College to be prepared to boost the ongoing fight against terrorism in the country. Lieutenant General Kenneth Minima told the officers that much is expected from them in the efforts to eliminate all forms of terrorism, noting that terrorism is a global security threat and not peculiar to Nigeria. The Army Chief urged officers to work with their colleagues in the field to win the war.
It's the graduation ceremony of 151 officers of Junior Corps 78 at the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji, Kaduna State. Officers drawn from the Army, Navy and Air Force. The successful completion of their course here reaffirms the commitment of the Nigerian military to continuously train and retrain its personnel for better and effective performance. The commandant of the college here speaks on the significance of the course.
The course is designed to equip the officers with the appropriate skills to function as brigade staff officers and junior commanders in their various services and intra-service establishments. I must commend you, the graduates, for the untiring efforts you have put in to ensure that you qualify for the award of past junior staff course certificate. You must carry on with the same spirit in addressing the numerous challenges that you are bound to meet as you make progress in your career.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Kenneth Minima, talks of the relevance of the course to present-day challenges.
For members of the Nigerian Armed Forces, the ability to utilize these skills will even be more apparent now that our nation is confronting an array of internal security challenges. You must therefore brace up to these challenges with courage, conviction, and in the most and best way professional. Nations, including ours, have had to contend with asymmetric threats that are mostly intrastate in nature. What would mean terrorism did not develop here. It only came here, and we pray it will also pass through here and go to some other place where it is going.
The graduating officers comprise of 59 Army officers, 45 naval staff, 28 from the Air Force, and 11 non-military students awarded past junior staff course certificate.
And still on the fight against insurgency, this time the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Adeshola Amosu, is talking tough as he says that the air bombardment will continue. He stated that the aerial operation of the Air Force has drastically reduced the activities of the sect members in the troubled areas, adding that with the heavy military onslaught against them, the insurgents will soon give up and accept dialogue.
Insurgency in the Northeast is to bring the Boko Haram terrorists on the table. Our role essentially is to gather intelligence, then convince through the airstrike, convince them to change their mind, bring them to table. We've done sufficiently. We don't need to convince anybody again. We've done a lot. The supply lines have been seriously disrupted, including the command and control. So it's working well. We're satisfied with what we have done so far. We have a large pool of patriotic Nigerians still ready to fight for our great nation. When we can have this big population still turning up to join the armed forces, there's hope.
As the people of Plateau State pick up the pieces after the twin bomb explosions at the terminus area of Jos a week ago, Nigerians have been asked to be more vigilant and avoid crowded areas as much as possible. This is the message of a federal government delegation that visited Plateau State to sympathize with the survivors of the blast, which claimed over 30 lives, leaving several others injured.
We've seen how devastating the effects of the bomb has affected their bodies, and we are indeed very sorry. We pray that God will grant them quick recovery, and to call on those who have decided that they will continue to trouble Nigeria. We appeal to them to stop what they're doing, because Nigeria is our collective heritage. We desire a peaceful country. We desire a country where each person has a right to live, to contribute to the growth and the progress of the country.
We appreciate the generosity of the federal government in assisting us with these supplies. We have seen the patients, and fortunately most of them are getting better. We hope that all of them will be able to leave the hospital soon.
And away from security issues, over 10,000 cartons of poultry products valued at 54 million naira have been intercepted by men of the Nigeria Customs Service attached to the Federal Operations Unit in Ikeja, Lagos. The NCS said 3 trucks containing about 7,000 cartons of the products were seized along the Agege axis of Lagos following a tip-off, while another vehicle conveying over 3,000 cartons was intercepted around the Berga area. The leader of the team, Assistant Comptroller Adamu Abubakar, asked Nigerians to provide the service with the necessary information, as these poultry products pose a risk to the health of citizens.
It takes a lot of time before it's shipped from abroad. Came through Cotonou. The time they prepare to smuggle into the border, from the border into the country, is enough for the product to spoil. Also, the chemical used in preserving this foodstuff is not good for human consumption. Of course, generally in the south, where we have prepared and we have instructed our men to be on the lookout to make sure nothing of this nature that can affect the government fiscal policy is allowed into the country.
Nigeria's criminal justice system is in need of urgent reform to enable judges serve justice speedily to both rich and the poor in the society. This is according to some legal experts who spoke at a forum in Abuja, where they explained that the current justice system favors the rich, some of whom they say commit huge financial crime with little or no punishment. They believe that a reform in the system will help to prevent what they call time-buying techniques, often adopted by rich people to escape justice.
It was a gathering of legal experts to identify with a colleague who had written a book on oiling the wheels of justice in Nigeria. Exactly as the title suggests, these experts are set to analyze the structure of Nigeria's justice system and its impact on the nation's democracy.
One of the problems we have in Nigeria, and especially in Africa, is that we don't have something to fear. In Europe, in America, they don't fear God, but they fear the law. In Nigeria, we don't fear God, we don't fear the law. So, until we have something is created that we must be afraid of, then we'll continue to have issues. democracy will continue to be in shambles in this country.
According to them, the current criminal justice system in Nigeria favors the rich against the poor. They believe that reforming the criminal justice system will not only speed up justice administration, it will also reduce impunity.
There was an event that just happened recently. Somebody had to do with the impeachment or removal of the Speaker of the House of Representatives. The lawyer went to court to say, okay, ex parte order, like without hearing the orders, remove this man. But the judge said, look, you have to put them on notice. So, this 1 week, and as I learned, the thing is, the matter is adjourned to January. So these are gradual, what normally people say delay the justice. But what we are clamoring for, like all the political judgment or the electoral matters, we are trying to, the NBA more or less have forwarded a lot of amendments to National Assembly. Let us amend it, all our electoral procedure, that not only electoral matter, that will be taking speedy trial. This is one way we can solve this problem.
Our criminal justice system definitely needs reform, to answer your questions straight. Because a situation where justice is delayed, as the equitable maxim said, justice delayed is justice denied. And a situation where the VIP, accused persons, stand for trial in courts for God knows number of years, whereas the poor steal, for instance, bread or a goat, and the next week he's sentenced. It doesn't really go well. There's something wrong. There's a disconnect. Hence, the solution to this is to have a reform of our criminal justice system.
In the last 3 years, efforts have been made to reform the judiciary, especially in relation to electoral matters. Experts say such reforms, which have sped up hearing in the electoral tribunals, should also be introduced in criminal proceedings.
In part 2, after the break, All Progressives Grand Alliance APGA kicks off campaign for the 2015 elections in Awka. That's in a moment. Please stay with us.